I can't really believe how a 22-year-old would die. And the crazy part about it, the way she died would be insane. And instead of me even telling y'all what's going on, look at this picture right here, and the teacher will explain what really happened.
What's going on? My girlfriend's daughter is killed. Yeah.
My girlfriend?
What's going on there?
Go ahead.
My girlfriend, I'm sorry, my daughter's.
What you're hearing is the unimaginable. This is Heidi Knoll after finding her 22-year-old daughter, Lisey Dodd, beheaded in her own apartment. She was 1 month away from giving birth and one step away from making sure her killer wouldn't hurt them. Today, we're pulling apart every detail, from the neighbors who heard the walls shake to the CCTV that caught the killer leaving with a laundry basket. Until
I'm 40 seconds into the video, and this is what y'all bringing?
you see the truth the way investigators did. Stay with me because the reveal will leave you sick. This is the heartbreaking case of Lisey Dodd. It was just after midnight on June 8th, 2022, on a quiet street in Alton, Illinois. A security camera records a man
So you're saying a quiet screen, no harm, no killing.
walking casually across the frame. He's carrying a white laundry basket. At first glance, it's nothing, just enough.
Hey, white laundry bag? Nothing. You wouldn't even think he is a killer.
Another late-night trip to the dumpster. But neighbors would remember the detail that made their stomachs turn in hindsight. His clothes were different than from earlier that night, and his face was covered. The man walks behind a smoke shop and vanishes from view. Minutes later, another camera catches him tossing the basket into a red dumpster, already piled with drywall and construction debris. No one knew what was inside, not the neighbors, not the workers who would be near it the next morning. Still,
So you're saying nobody knew what he was carrying inside? They thought he was carrying clothes, because nobody would expect that.
one of the construction workers saw enough to tell the police about it.
So when I took her to the dumpster,
Alright?
a lot of clothes and shit in there all stowed all over
Cool.
laundry basket. And there was a couple pair of shoes.
The shoes were only the first sign. There was also a knife,
How would they shoot the first sign?
short, serrated, with blood smeared across the blade and handle, and the shoes were
Aye.
also spattered.
They was red. They had blood on them. They all look like females.
It would take hours before anyone realized the truth. And around the time they did, they could easily connect the dots with something even worse.
So it took y'all a whole hour to realize what was really going on? Shame.
Something Lisey's mother, Heidi, discovered in her apartment. At 1 p.m. on June 9th, 2022, Heidi arrived at her daughter's apartment. She hadn't heard from Lisey in over 15 hours, and she knew this wasn't like her daughter. She knew something else, something terrifying, but we'll get to that in a bit. She let herself in, and within 2 minutes, she was back outside having a panic attack.
911 with the address. Yeah. Hi. Listen. What's going on? My girlfriend's daughter is killed. Yeah.
My girlfriend?
What's going on there?
Go ahead.
My girlfriend, I'm sorry, my daughter's.
Even for the dispatcher hearing these words,
couldn't
it
even
was
see
hard
what
to process, let alone for
was
Heidi.
going
When
on.
officers arrived, Heidi was still sitting on the front steps, shaking and crying. She
Oh!
handed them the key, but she didn't say anything.
Alright.
One officer's body cam caught the moment they entered the bedroom. Lisey's body was lying on the bed, and at first, it seemed like her head was wrapped in a towel. But as the police officer pulled closer, the truth was unbearable.
She wasn't kidding.
Can we go sit on these front porch steps, though? Okay.
Heidi's 22-year-old
Nah. She only 22? And this was happening?
daughter had been decapitated, 8 months pregnant with the baby she called Bean. And what made it somehow even worse, there was no sign of her head anywhere in the apartment. The killer had
Wait a minute! Don't tell me he cut. No!
desecrated her, carried part of her away, leaving the police with a crime scene too brutal to comprehend. But remember how I said Heidi knew more? Listen to the statement.
Oh God, please, oh my goodness, listen.
She would have a lot to tell detectives in a minute, but for now, she just wanted her daughter
She the head of ghost!
head returned.
He just strangled her, and then there wasn't a hit. Please find her head.
But before the police on this
Yeah.
scene would talk to the ones who found the head, more and more neighbors started turning up at the scene, and some of them were about to
Hey, they about to reveal a crime that I don't want to hear right now.
reveal another sickening detail.
What?
Downstairs neighbors had long been witnesses to the violence in Lisi and DeAndre's relationship. They had even called the police before. But the night of June 8th was something different. One of them later told investigators,
And I heard like muffled yelling, like not screaming,
Yeah.
like yelling in a way, kind of like in pain. Like
Yelling in pain, but you didn't think anything wrong about that?
just like snipped your finger with a scissor.
Then it got worse. Then the whole apartment was
What?
shaking.
And it started shaking, and we're like, okay,
If you knew something was off, why didn't you call a cop immediately if you knew something off?
they must be fighting or something.
The thuds weren't random though, so it wasn't the usual punch-up. They were rhythmic.
Probably, I really don't know other than like chopping wood.
Okay.
The neighbors froze.
You're stupid. You're stupid. You should just call a cop.
Listening to what sounded like a body being struck over and over.
And then all of a sudden, the screaming got really, really loud and really intense.
And then silence. No more screams, no more thuds. The walls stopped shaking. Later that night, work
Where in the world did the cop is not involved at that time? Why you didn't call the cop? Pick up your phone, call the cop.
worried but unsure, her partner texted the landlord. Hey, I don't really know what to do. We got home and as soon as we walked in, we started feeling thumps. And then someone started screaming for like 5 minutes straight. It stopped for a minute.
She kind of stupid. You should have just called a cop. I don't know how many times I keep saying the cops should have been involved in this situation a long time ago. It's like y'all wait at the long time to force or they call the cop. Y'all should have called when y'all had the chance.
And the thumping started back up. The neighbor's door upstairs was also cracked open. They didn't call 911 because they didn't want to overreact. So they just told the landlord they'll phone the cops if it happens again.
Stupid.
But they never heard it again.
Oh my
Not because
God.
there was now peace.
Y'all
but because
didn't want to call the cop because y'all want to overreact and thought it was nothing. Y'all stupid.
Lisi was already gone. And while neighbors tried to convince themselves it was nothing, the killer was already planning how to cover his tracks. Before the horror, Lisi's life was defined by kindness. She was born in Alton in 1999, and she was the kind of person who gave a lot more than she received. At just 10 years old, instead of birthday presents, she asked people to donate to an animal shelter. Her mom remembers the joy she carried into adulthood.
They're the perfect type of daughter every parent should have.
She was just a loving soul, just a beautiful soul, and I just wish she would have known
But
how loved she
my main question is, why he didn't? Why did you kill her before her baby shower? Now you had two people there, not just her, but her unborn kid.
was. You know, that she wouldn't have ever been alone.
By 2017, she had graduated high school and was working at Dairy Queen, saving up for classes to follow her mother into the medical field. But her focus changed when she became pregnant in 2022. The family nicknamed her baby Bean. Invitations for the baby shower had just gone out.
I had just sent out invitations the prior Saturday for the baby shower. We were just excited and kind of gathering the items you need to have a baby.
She hadn't even chosen a name yet because she thought she had more time. And the most heartbreaking thing is, somehow
What?
Lisi was expecting the worst. She just wasn't fast enough on her way out. Lisi's
So she literally knew something was off, but she didn't know how it was going to come or when it's going to happen.
relationship with DeAndre Holloway was volatile from the start. They bounced between homes, and at one point, they were even living in a tent. But that was not the worst of it all. They were fighting all the time, and you could see from a mile away that Lisi was afraid of him. But being the person that she was, she kept hoping he would change. She believed in false promises, Heidi
Why girls like this? Why girl always thinking that one dude gonna change and thinking, oh, if I argue with this person, so that he might change, or so like, bro, if y'all been arguing for that long, leave. Like, why y'all do this to yourself?
I had recognized the severity of this relationship, and the potential for tragedy. So every day I made contact with her, either by phone or text.
Her boss at Dairy Queen saw the signs too.
She had little black eyes when she would come in. When she first started,
But
she
the
would
crazy
make
thing
excuses
is,
that her
like,
dog had
I
jumped up and
hate
hit her.
people. If y'all see a signs on someone, call somebody or ask what's going on instead of just allowing it to happen.
Today, she got the truth out of her.
I asked her about it, and she said they had gotten in an argument. Eventually, after the excuses about the dog and things like that stopped, she was honest about it.
The violence escalated fast. In 2021, Lisey ended up hospitalized with
So
a
this was
broken
4 years
nose
ago.
and 2 black eyes. In a desperate text to her boss, she admitted, "My boyfriend beat me again, and I had to go to my mom's. They're wanting me to stay in a safe place because he's threatened before to harm us." But as quickly as she'd run, she'd return. Friends, coworkers, and family all saw the cycle.
Why do you return? If your mom's house is a safer place for you, why do you not stay at her house? Why do you return to the scene?
Bruises, apologies, then the same again. Even when people offered to call 911, Lisey preferred to protect DeAndre.
I wanted to call the police, and she did not want to.
Bro, and I just realized people would actually try to call 911 and try to get her help. But her dumbass want to keep on saying, nah, he gonna change. No, he wasn't. And he beat you twice in a month or 2 months. Why didn't you just say, oh, I need help? Anything about
The last
that?
time Lisey let DeAndre back into her life, it set the stage for the final night. On June 7th, DeAndre vanished without a word. He left his phone, some clothes gone, no explanation. That night, heavily pregnant and exhausted, Lisey texted her mom in despair. "You think he'd just leave like this? Think I got left." Her mom tried to comfort her, framing it as a possible escape from the toxic cycle. If this is how it's meant to happen, at least it was not violent. But Lisey couldn't see it that way. Instead, she spiraled.
Right?
"I broke a razor down and cut my leg because I told him I was just going to kill myself." "Why were you going to kill yourself?" "Because I just can't get it right." These were the words of a young woman
Can't get what right?
pushed to her breaking point by a man who had been her for years. DeAndre was Lisey's only boyfriend, and she had known nothing but violence and gaslighting at his hands. Tragically, until the day she died at his hands, Lisey blamed herself for most of the violence in the relationship.
You can't blame yourself. Why y'all girls keep on saying when y'all got a toxic boyfriend that it's your fault why the man tossed it? It's not your fault. It's their fault for even allowing this tossiness, this creepy madness to happen.
By the next morning, DeAndre was still missing. Lisey did her best to keep her routine, washing her work clothes, texting her mom she felt something was seriously.
Bro, this is not the 1990s. It's 2000. You ain't gotta do what a fucking man say.
Wrong. That night, his uncle finally returned him. At 9:11 p.m., CCTV shows Lisey and DeAndre walking back into the apartment. From the car, she sent her final message. "I'm trying to figure it out." 10 hours later, Heidi would find her daughter dead. But DeAndre wasn't gone. And the way he moved after the murder added a new, sickening plot twist to the story.
Wait.
Just before midnight, CCTV catches DeAndre leaving again. Only this time he wasn't empty-handed. He carried a white laundry basket to the car. Inside it was Lisey's severed head. He would dump it like trash in the construction site dumpster.
Sure, he cut him off like the head of a horse and...
Hours later, around 2:30 a.m., DeAndre was banging on his family's door.
My sister said around 2:30 in the morning that he's like banging on the door and stuff, and he's like pacing, like acting nervous.
By morning, his half-sister found him in the bathroom, cutting off his dreadlocks.
And I asked him why he was cutting his hair off, and he just said a fresh start.
No, he cutting his dreadlock because he don't want the cops to know who he really is. So he cutting off to have a different look.
It was a pathetic attempt to erase his identity. And it didn't stop there. His
All
grandmother
right.
saw what he carried into the house, a bunch of suspicious items, including Lisey's debit card.
And I said, well, why you got her debit card?
Yeah.
And
What he saying?
in Dyson, you know.
Found them? No, he was looting the woman he had just. It's almost.
Damn, he was looting a girl. So he killed a girl. Now he's looting whatever things she got left.
Funny how he looked down on his family too, thinking no one would address his weird behavior. Except none of this is funny. And when they finally caught him, DeAndre showed the world just how deranged he really was. On June 10th, 2022, just a day after Lisey was discovered, Gillespie police pulled a man into custody for cannabis. They didn't realize at first that they had Lisey's killer. The footage shows DeAndre restless, pacing, and shaking
y'all pulled the man, but didn't know it was him.
his legs.
Is it okay if I walk around? Is it okay if I stand up and take a step?
Officers tell him to sit down. He laughs, taunts, and bangs his head against the wall.
This is not funny. This is definitely not funny.
It was manic, to say the least. But the cops still didn't really know who he was at this point, only when he was moved
How y'all didn't know? That's crazy. Y'all didn't know that was the one who killed her?
to jail. His threats became explicit. Among those, he kept telling the COs, "I will off your head." Around this time, police started to put two and two together. Lisey's head was recovered and it
Oh, so when he said, you're head to CEO of the police department, then they end up feeling like, wait a minute. We heard someone who actually killed someone and carved their head and left them with just the body. And that when they put two together.
realized who they had in custody. But the courts weren't ready for him. What followed was years of delays, excuses, and broken promises of justice. After his arrest, DeAndre refused to give investigators anything, not even his name. Prosecutors had a clear case, but it stalled. He was declared unfit to stand trial and sent to a state institution until he could be stabilized. His stepfather Chris went public, pleading that mental illness was the real culprit.
I'm not going to deny that what happened.
The crazy thing about it, I hate people that always say they are illness that making them like this. There's no fucking way an illness can make you act a certain way. Cause there's no way an illness is making you do that.
It was an extreme act of evil. We knew he was capable of violence, but
y'all knew that. Why y'all didn't try go on it quicker or fast enough?
We've been trying to get help for him for at least 3 years.
His
3
message,
years?
our system
I thought
fails
it was
people
like
with
months.
mental problems, and the
It was
delays
3
kept dragging because
years?
of DeAndre's mental problems. He refused court hearings, he disrupted those he attended, he once refused to leave his cell until officers dragged him out. Finally, in 2024,
Damn.
DeAndre entered a guilty plea, and in January 2025, the sentence came. 60 years. For the Dodd
60?
family, it was something.
He admitted his guilt.
Hey, the crazy part about it, it was something for the family. Yeah, and yeah, you're not spending life in prison, but 60 years, you definitely spend life in prison if you have 60 years.
He is incarcerated long enough that he can't hurt anyone else. And also that Lisa's life was acknowledged, that he had taken it, and also Baby Bean.
But not nearly.
Yeah, he took it to by life. Not only Lisey's life, but he took away the unborn kid's life. Now, that kid won't even spend nothing anymore.
Enough.
So she had a lot of things on the horizon that she was looking forward to. And then of this one person ended those dreams for her. And
The Saturday that should have been balloons and cake turned into a memorial. Heidi stood in court and spoke for her daughter and for Bean. She urged everyone watching to value their life and not tolerate people like DeAndre in their lives. And shortly after, she shared a long quote on Facebook that now feels prophetic. After a while, you learn the subtle difference between holding a hand and chaining a soul.
And
you
now,
learn that kisses aren't contract.
now y'all girl, make sure that y'all know y'all men. And y'all men, make sure that the girl y'all dating isn't toxic, a cheer, or like make sure y'all partner isn't like sick in the head.
And presents aren't promises. Here's the part that stings. All of the warning signs were there. The bruises, the hospital visits, the text to her family, friends, and bosses. Everyone's...
Hey, all the warning signs were there, but nobody want to listen. Nobody want to listen to the signs or listen when people say what's going on. Nobody want to listen. Nobody want to like rush into it and then try to help her